Brian Wheeler, Antonio Harvey, joined by one of our favorite national NBA guys. He's just been going coast to coast, keeping up with this NBA championship series, which now shifts to Cleveland for Game 6 tomorrow night. It's our friend Rick Kamla. I know you've been doing about 1,000 of these a day, so thank you for your time with us tonight. Give us your thoughts on the series to this point, and are the Cavs done?
Wheels and Harv, what's up? Actually, I don't do that many of these. I try to keep it kind of selective, try to save my voice a little bit, but I come out for my boys, and
Appreciate
you
it.
guys
Thank
certainly
you.
qualify as that. My thoughts on the series so far is, the Dellavedova thing was just kind of laughable. I mean, he's had moments in these playoffs. He's established himself as an NBA player. It reminds me of the Jeremy Lin thing. Like, everybody just needs to slow down and pump the brakes. I mean, Jeremy Lin was doing some Wilt Chamberlain stuff for 2 weeks. People wanted to send him to the Hall of Fame. And, what Jeremy Lin did when Carmelo Anthony was out, if you remember when he was doing all that with the Knicks, is he established himself as an NBA player. And that's all Matthew Dellavedova has done. In addition to obviously helping the Cavs win some big playoff games, but Dellavedova is not a starter in the NBA. To me, he's a good backup, probably a really good third point guard, maybe a backup point guard. But the fact that he got so much attention, and we covered it on NBA TV, but just that whole thing, the last 2 games, I think he's 3 of 15 from downtown, predictably coming back to earth. But LeBron James has been, absolutely. What's north of Hall of Fame good? I don't know. He's been Mount Rushmore good here through. He's like 36, 13, and 9 or something in the NBA Finals. He's on pace to be the only guy ever to go 35, 10, and 5 in the Finals. But the bottom line is the Golden State Warriors are a better team. If Kevin Love were healthy, if Anderson Varejao were healthy, and of course if Kyrie Irving were healthy, this would be a much different series. I'm very, very impressed that Cleveland has even won 2 games in this series, and LeBron James and his one-man band thing is the reason why. But Golden State, look, they've got championship metrics across the board, 67 wins, 39 home wins, point diff of +10, a home point diff of like +15, and they did their share of road winning in the regular season and here in the playoffs. Best offensive team, best defensive team. They've got the MVP. They've got the guy who probably should have been the coach of the year. So it's only a matter of time to me before, the Cavs to me are bleeding out on the battlefield right now, and it's only a matter of time before the Warriors drop that sword in them and finish them off.
All right, so here's a question for you. You mentioned the metrics, and it's hard to argue with anything that's happening right now with the Golden State Warriors. Are they set up because they have young players, they have young talent? Are they a potential dynasty? Are they good enough to supplant the San Antonio Spurs as the West new team, the team of the future?
Great question. I think they are because they have the best backcourt in the NBA right now, and if they win the championship, the debate gains a lot of momentum in terms of, are they the best backcourt of all time? Is it the best shooting backcourt of all time? And they have more work to do, but we're talking about guys, Steph is 27. I don't know what's Klay, 25, 26, whatever it is. So, I do think that, some moves are going to have to be made. Tough decisions are going to have to be made. Harrison Barnes is going to need some cash soon. Draymond Green is going to be a free agent this summer. Do they max him out or do they more wisely, get him on a reasonable number for the team and obviously give him the raise that he needs? I don't think Draymond is a max player. To me, he's too small. He's a 3.5, and I love Draymond. He's a leader. He's emotional, super competitive. He's super skilled. He's a big man with guard skills, and you guys know how valuable that is. But I can't max him out, and if you max him out, then it's gonna hamstring them with other things. I mean, if you max him out, then can you give Harrison Barnes $7, $8, $9 million per? Because I think Harrison Barnes, if you were on Sacramento or Charlotte or one of the lower teams, one of the Denver, one of the bottom teams, he's a 20-point scorer. There's just not a doubt in my mind about that. I love Harrison Barnes. I think he's a sensational player. And what do you do with David Lee? He's got 1 year left at about 15. Does he want to come back and carry bags to and from the airport again, or does he want a starting gig? But bottom line is they have the best backcourt in the game. Guard play rules, whether it's college basketball or pro basketball. Our back in your day, the big man rule, but now it's a guard league, and they have the best backcourt in the league. So yes, I think it's only a matter of time before they win this championship, and I would say over the next 5, 6, 7 years, they're probably going to put about 3 on the board.
Wow.
Let's ask your thoughts about the NBA news of the day. The Nuggets fill their coaching vacancy and give Michael Malone his second NBA head coaching opportunity. And the Clippers and Hornets come together on an interesting deal. They, in exchange, basically exchanging underachievers from each side. So it looks like Spencer Hawes and Matt Barnes going from the Clips to the Hornets for Lance Stevenson. And some talk that the Hornets might not even keep Barnes. Apparently they'll only owe him $1 million if they waive him before July 1st, which sounds like they may choose to do. But your thoughts on the news of the day? We don't normally get stuff like this during the NBA Finals.
Right. I mean, very interesting. The Michael Malone thing, I'm really happy for Mike. He's a great guy. I think he's a really, really good coach. And I'm just not sure the situation is ideal. I've heard some things about Ty Lawson and Kenneth Faried. They think they're better than they are. They want privileges and benefits that players of their ilk shouldn't get. And I've just heard some stuff about those guys that's unsavory, unflattering. And I'm not sure Mike Malone, as good of a coach as he is going to be able to win there. Think about it. They don't have a go-to guy. They don't have an all-star. They're a real injury-prone team. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not trying to be negative here, but I just don't think that's a very good job in the NBA right now. I'm not crazy about their roster. And I've just heard some stuff about the franchise and the vibe out there, and it's funky. But I wish Mike Malone the best. I hope he can go out there and get a fair shot. I don't think he got a fair shot in Sacramento. They were not rolling, but they were pretty decent, hovering around 500, and the sack thing was kind of on the rise a little bit. And then DeMarcus Cousins gets sick, and then they fire Mike Malone. It's about as unfair as when Sam Mitchell got fired from Toronto the year after winning Coach of the Year. I think he started 8-9. Like, what? With 17 games in after Coach of the Year, you're going to fire the guy? What the hell? But on the trade, I don't know. To me, it's the teams are trading problem. The Spencer Hawes thing was a disaster last year. The best thing he did for the Clippers all year was wear the tree suit on Christmas Day. You got Matt Barnes. I'm not a Matt Barnes fan, never have been. I think he's a low basketball IQ guy. Everybody talks about you got to have dogs on your team, and I get that, and you do, but I'm just not a fan. So I think Charlotte essentially is making the admission we completely screwed up with the Lance Stevenson signing. We were waiting for any kind of decent deal to move him out. And Doc Rivers is like he's like the guidance counselor in the NBA. He's worked well with Nate Robinson. He's worked well with Big Baby Davis. He's worked well with Matt Barnes. Over the last couple of years, Matt Barnes has been a serviceable player and at times a plus player for the LA Clippers, and it's because of Doc. So Doc is like, look, I like the talent of Lance Stevenson. I know he's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but I can work with cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So we're going to bring him out here and hope that it can solve their problem at the 3. But if I'm the LA Clippers, I am wooing Paul Pierce. I think he is exactly what they need. They need a vet. They need an end of shot clock guy, end of quarter guy, end of game guy, because Blake Griffin does not want that shot.
Right.
Chris Paul in the San Antonio series proved that he can step up and make that shot. But we really haven't seen that from Chris Paul up until that series. So to me, I would have let Lance languish in Charlotte, and I would have gone after Paul Pierce.
Rick, you're the best. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
we'll let you enjoy the off night, and we'll continue to look for your great stuff on NBA TV, and hopefully we'll see you in Vegas during Summer League.
Indeed, guys. Thanks for the compliment. Thanks for the time, and God bless Portland.
Rick Kamla, NBA TV, good man and a good reporter as well.